The following stream contains mature content and subject matter. Viewer discretion is advised. Chicago. Ask someone to picture the city, and they will have trouble coming up with a concise description. When people think of New York City, they think of skyscrapers, subways, and muggers. When they think of Los Angeles, they think of sun, smog, and traffic. When they think of Detroit, they think of cars, factories, and decay. But for those of us that know, there's only one thing we think of when someone mentions Chicago: vampires. And tonight, we tell their story. Good evening and welcome to McStabber Studios' Windy City After Dark. I am the storyteller, Shanky McStabber.
And I am Mama McStabber in Twitch chat. You can find me on socials at Relendare. And I will be playing Jacqueline Deron of Clan Venture.
Hi, I'm Mischievous Red, and I'll be playing Isabella Caputo of Clan Toreador.
Good evening, I am Ivy Raven, and I play Genevieve Schutz of Clan Gangrel.
I'm Urian, and I'm playing Roscoe Acres, Clan Tremere.
And when we were last with this coterie, well, they took a trip to the Madam again to deal with a poor choice made by a coterie member. And during this meeting, they hopefully have gotten that poor choice taken care of. We shall see on that one. But obviously the poor choice was enough that he's not here tonight because he's sick. I guess the Madam reaches across boundaries more than one. And now when we're opening up tonight, Jackie, you had somebody you needed to meet. Now, the question is, where is Jackie tonight?
Oh, I imagine it's a Thursday evening, so she's just coming out of a ballet performance at an Elysia.
Okay. And as you get in the car, Etienne looks over, ma'am, where are we heading?
I don't know. I don't normally go to the cabaret this evening. Take me to the park where I sometimes meet Dread.
Yes, ma'am. And as you start to pull out from Elysia
Go to another one.
to go to another one, suddenly Etienne slams on the brakes of the car. There's a man standing in the street, literally stepped right in front of the car and is just standing there. Nondescript, blonde hair. Can't see his eyes from here. He's in a t-shirt, pair of blue jeans. And he's just standing in front of the car. Ma'am?
Well,
And Etienne leans out the window. Would you care to move before I run you over? And the guy looks over at Etienne, and he gets a grin on his face. And he starts walking around to the edge side to the car. I'm here to speak with your friend in the back seat. Etienne looks back to you, ma'am.
oh, you must be Francis.
That would be me.
Let him in, Etienne.
Yes, ma'am. And Etienne gets out of the car and opens the door to allow him to slide into the back. And then Etienne sits back down. Same place, ma'am?
Indeed.
Yes, ma'am. And he starts to pull off. And as soon as he's sitting inside, the disguise that Francis is using instantly drops.
Mm-hmm.
And beside you is, well, he's very bat-like. He's got bat ears, bald head,
Mm-hmm.
long fangs, both upper and lower fangs. Skin is a very leathery tone.
So you were following me?
Well, you wanted to meet, so I said, let's
No, you were following me before.
perhaps.
I saw you.
Well, you got it on video that it was me? Otherwise, it wasn't me. And I doubt you could prove it was me.
Yes, well, considering no other American nurse in this city turns into a bat.
They have no fucking taste.
That's
That's the
neither
problem.
here nor there. It minimizes the options of who it could be.
Like I said, they have a lack of taste, lack of style. But you wanted to speak with me, so I'm here.
Yes, I'd like to know why you're following me.
Now, we haven't established I'm actually following you yet.
Oh, you can lie all you want, or deny, or try to circumvent, but I know it. And you know it. So we might as well stop bullshitting each other, yes?
It's not your concern why I follow you.
Oh, I think it is.
No, I think you're mistaken.
I think you're doing it for Andre, so I think it is.
Well, less you know about that problem, I think the better.
Really?
Oh, yeah. I'm just, what you might call on a fact-finding mission.
So what information do you need to relay to him?
I'm not saying I'm working for him, but a fact-finding information normally involves where the individual goes, who they hang out with, where they like to be, those kind of a situation.
Well, I tend to go all over the city. I have a large network of associates, so I hang out with a variety of individuals. And, let's see, I also do some other business that you really shouldn't follow me for because you may not be able to leave.
Well, again, there's nothing wrong with following somebody in this city.
There is with certain people.
I'm not following them.
No, but if I have business with them and you are following me,
As it stands, I think I got enough info that I needed.
really.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I got enough. For what he wants. You know he's coming, right?
Yes, I know.
Okay. Now, I don't know what your business is, and frankly, I don't give a shit what your business is. Not my problem. My problem is, he said, get some info. I got some info. I give him the info. My part's done. Unless he, of course, wants me to do more things.
Well, let us hope for your safety. He does not.
And he leans forward a bit and grins. Is that a threat?
No. It is a warning.
Yeah.
You are not as familiar with this city as I am.
And he leans back a bit. You know, if I'd been killed every time I'd been given a warning, well, they'd have just renamed me Lazarus by now, right? Look, I don't know what your beef is. I don't know what his beef is with you. I am just what you would call a reconnaissance guy.
I understand. You are the middleman.
For now.
Give him my regards and tell him I look forward to meeting with him when he arrives.
Well, I will. I don't think it'll be much longer. I'm pretty sure he'll be arranging a meeting with you before too long. I give it 2 weeks tops.
Oh, is he already here?
No, he's not.
I'm gonna roll to see if he's lying.
Go ahead. We shall see how you do. Let's see how the kindness of Fantasy Grounds tonight. A 6 with a crit.
Hang on. Seven with a crit. And let
And
me
you
rouse
surge.
for, let me rouse for my surge. Ooh, made it. Yay.
7 with a crit. He's not lying about him not being here, but because I like to reward 7 with a crit, the crit is always helpful. Well, he's sure that he's not here now. You think he's going to be here a lot sooner than 2 weeks? You suspect the way he said it, he anticipates him here any day.
He notices me looking him dead in his eyes as he tells me that, and not flinching. And saying, oh, so he'll be here, what, night or two?
2 weeks.
You're right.
If you want, I believe you Americans. And when he says you Americans, you see his eyes cut to you. Would say contractor 2 weeks.
That's 6 months.
Or 6 minutes.
Oh, 6 minutes.
6 hours.
Depends on if they want to be miracle workers or not.
Exactly.
Very well. Well, I am going to a park for the evening. It's a good place to drop you off. No one will see you.
I'm not that worried about it. I can switch faces and get out anywhere you want. I mean, if you want to show me the park, sure. But I'm not a park person. We've got a few where I'm from. Some of them are really nice. This rat-infested place isn't what I would call nice.
Ah, this one is actually rather lovely, and it's right on the water.
I get enough water time here lately. More than my fair share.
All right. Etienne, pull over.
And Etienne pulls over, and he gets out of the car and opens the door. And as he's opening the door, you see that once again, he shifts. And he shifts into blonde hair, same look, exact look he had before.
And she speaks in perfect French. Bonne nuit, Francois.
That's Francis to you. I'm not that pretentious to go by that name in this city. I'll see you around, Colette. And he walks off. And Etienne sits back down. Ma'am, is that a problem?
Likely.
He knew your name, ma'am.
Yep. He's Andre's child. So that just told me Andre knew exactly I was in this city. Who the fuck told him?
I mean, at his age, he's got connections. But I don't know who all would know enough details on that. Think you got it from Antoine? If it's Angie's child, broodmates might have shared it.
I think he sent my son to this city knowing I was already here.
Makes sense. From what I remember of him, he's petty. He couldn't sit on it forever without
Trying to rub it in my face.
I think that I was going to use a different term, but
Yes,
you
but
know,
that has generally blown up, and he doesn't realize it because I'm not. It is what it is at this point, but I will get my recompense from him negating our deal.
it's going to be a question of how connected he is, really. I mean, the deal broken is still a problem, but
Exactly. And if he wants to be too petty, I'll make sure everyone in this city knows it.
that just boils down to whether he cares.
And he may not, but it'll make it very hard for him to accomplish anything in this city if no one's willing to deal with him.
Ma'am, next time somebody steps in front of the car, can I just run him over, please?
Absolutely.
Yes, ma'am. Just double checking.
Yes.
I don't like to cause body damage to your vehicles unless we have to, but
Oh, they're fully insured.
because, yeah, he wants to be dumb enough to step in front of a vehicle. I'm sure we can give him a present from the grill. Maybe not run him over. Maybe I'll just kiss the next one who does it just a little bit with the front end.
There you go.
And he continues taking you over to the park. Now, we're actually going to skip to the very next night after Jackie spends time because there's two different things going on this night. One is Roscoe has to go over to see Isabella. And the other one is, of course, Jenny and Jackie have gotten word from Dawn that they are to meet her. So we're going to first start with Isabella and Roscoe before we deal with the other meeting. Roscoe, you've not been to Isabella's place before.
No.
I'll let Isabella describe it to you so she can give you the full experience because I will never be able to describe the place as well as the player who owns it.
Okay. So there have been a bit of changes recently, so I'll include those in my description. So when you walk in, it's everything you would typically expect to see from a bar would be there. It's a bit larger than expected because obviously she does make a brewery as well. But there's very much an Italian rustic vibe to it, where there's almost like vineyard wallpaper and there's like lattice work over it to kind of give it that dimensional feel, I guess is how I would call it. There is it's a bit brighter in here than you might expect, especially for the timing, and there looks to be some very, very newly installed security measures if you know where to look.
Okay.
You do notice cameras everywhere outside the place. I mean, it's an impressive amount of cameras. And when you get to the door, Emilio, I mean, there's other people at the door too, but you're not even at the door long before Emilio comes walking up to you. She's expecting you. Come on in.
All right. Thanks.
And he's walking beside you. Give me a wits awareness, please.
Okay.
And we'll see what you get. Let's see. 3? Okay. As he takes you back in there, she's got a decent crowd tonight. But he leads you to the back to an office door. And when he opens the door, he walks in front of you, which seems odd, and he walks over to Isabella, and he hands her something that you don't see. Isabella, he handed you a watch. Specifically Roscoe's watch. And he hands it to you, and he turns around. I'll be outside if you need me, ma'am.
Thank
And
you.
he grins. And then he turns and closes the door.
How are you doing this evening, Roscoe?
Oh, pretty good, Isabella. How about you?
I'm good. Thank you for agreeing to come. We haven't had much of an opportunity to spend
No.
one-on-one time together.
No, we really haven't.
It's a shame.
Well, I imagine now that we have the Samantha between us, I imagine we'll probably end up spending a lot more time.
I mean, that depends how easy you want to make this, Roscoe.
Well, I don't have anything to object to so far.
I have to ask,
Mhm.
why haven't you just ghouled her yet?
That that would remove her agency, and that's not something I want to do. I mean, I admit that she's impulsive and does bad things, but still, it's not worth it to me.
Do you think she still retains a bunch of agency when it comes to you with this immensely high level of infatuation?
The fact that I'm not on fire every night makes me think she does to some degree.
I mean, would you be on fire every night if you ghouled her?
You know, I've really thought about it. You know, ghouling someone creates that bond that makes them do what they think you want them to do. And in her case, that could be really dangerous.
She is already doing that, though, and doesn't listen at all. If you were to do that, I'm not sure she would really pose. She may, but I think it unlikely. B, there'd be more of that sense of an understanding and listening. Also, in my mind, and I don't think she necessarily thinks this, but someone could potentially think that you're almost just stringing her along at this point.
No, that's not the case.
What
And-
benefit does she get to this arrangement right now?
Well, she gets to indulge her enjoyment of tracking me. Yeah, she gets to. Well, before Franklin put her on restriction, she got to spend some time with me. The ghouling thing. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, I may as well just tell her she has to put something over that crowning glory of hers and have a male mage accompany her every time she goes out in public. It's not acceptable to me.
I think that she might I think in her mind there would probably be that difference. Like, I see where you're coming from, but don't forget she has a voice in this too with what she would want.
That is
And I
true.
get that may be extreme in some circumstances, but I don't think that we can say that she would be unwilling and assume that it'd be the same form of control that having a male mage escort her everywhere would be. At this rate, that might even happen. Unless we do something.
I really don't know. I mean, she might be receptive to that.
I mean, obviously don't do it without her permission. I'm not
Of
saying
course,
that.
of course.
I'd be the last one to suggest that. But I do think that it might be beneficial of a conversation to have with her, given
Well,
everything that's going on.
yeah, she's not unaware of some of her shortcomings, so it's not. It might be something she's willing to entertain for
I
her,
mean,
and our good.
I understand that it does change things a bit, but in general, or at least I think with the way that many of us in the coterie have done it, and I'd imagine kind of what it would be like with you for her. It's not done as something to take advantage of someone else.
Oh no,
It's not done to use them against their will, or it's done because you care. And not in the sense that you're claiming them for yourself, but because you care about their well-being.
well, it certainly would give her certain advantages in terms of longevity, but my main concern is how it would affect her spark. I mean, obviously, going from a mage to, well, being one of us destroys it completely.
I don't imagine that. I don't know much about it, obviously. But I imagine that she wouldn't have been the first, or she's not the first to be in this position, that we would have an example of what's happened to someone's spark in this situation.
Yeah, I could look into that.
I'm not saying we have to, one way or the other. I just want to make sure that it is something that's being considered and is a gift in some ways.
It is, and I'll consider it. Maybe there will be some advantages for us, for all of us.
And also, do keep in mind her opinion in all of it. If you're really concerned about her agency, make sure she has a voice in it.
Of course, yeah. I'd never do it without her consent.
That's not my concern. My concern is that you won't do it even if she wants it.
Well, she does. It may solve some problems. It's a shame Amelia's not in here. I'll have a talk with her on our next movie night.
Mm-hmm. I mean, you're probably gonna want to talk to him anyway.
Oh, why is that?
And she just like holds up the watch.
Wait. How'd you get that? What?
How do you think?
Mr. Trickster. He was walking a little close. I totally didn't even notice.
We should all be careful in these times.
I did notice though, it was a little extra bright in the bar. You looking to avoid shadows of any sort?
Most certainly. Not only am I concerned for my own well-being here, I'm also concerned for that of Emilio. Whatever I can do to protect him, I'll do. But thank you for at least listening.
Sure, of course. I mean, never hurts to talk. But we do have another conversation we have to have. I owe you for paying the price for Samantha getting out of the tower. What can I do for you?
Think putting a handle on the whole Samantha situation. However you decide to do that, we'll call it even. Right now, she's a danger to all of us, and like I said, I want to make sure that we're protected where we can be. And sometimes wild cards are Well, they're wild cards for a reason.
Right. No, this seems a fairly low price to repay you with, and I'm sure that Madam may require something much more substantial. So, should it become an issue, please call me.
I mean, I intend to have Samantha repay me the debt a little bit, potentially help me with Amelia.
And yeah, don't forget that she can remain invisible.
Oh, I know.
And make a great lookout. I mean, I'm sure she probably has some other really useful talents that I don't know about yet.
I probably should meet with her at some point, and we could talk about strategize.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure she could probably slip a little tracking bracelet onto Amelia.
I don't think she has Emilio's stealth skills, and I'm not sure even Emilio could do that. She's been around a long time. And you can't get more stealthy than a shadow, let's be honest.
That is true, yeah. Well, it's a thought.
But yeah, I think it would be good for her and I to have a conversation.
Okay. Did you guys exchange information so you can get in contact with her?
Do you know if these bracelets are a one-time use thing to call her?
So far, I really don't know.
Okay. You can give her my information.
Okay. Should I give her here at the bar, or
yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
I don't want to use my one shot at getting her to come to me with the bracelet if I need it later.
Okay. Yeah, no problem.
Thank you, Roscoe. And of course, I am here for you whenever you need it. I can't guarantee it'll always be a favor to the madam, but you are one of our own. So.
Well, thank you. I'll try not to make any heavy requests.
I hope not. Don't let Emilio swipe anything else on your way out.
I don't think I'm going to be watching him. I mean, I already owe him. Actually, in a positive way, I owe him for those movies. So,
I'm sure he has more. Don't know what they are, but I'm sure he has more. It's kind of a weirdo.
Oh, you guys don't watch them together? I mean, I thought that's why he gave me those for Samantha. No. Okay.
That's a long story. For another time.
Okay, well, we have a long time.
As you get up to leave, Roscoe, Emilio is outside the door, and his eyes immediately dart to your wrist. Mm-hmm. And he leans in.
Nice.
He looks at Isabella. I guess next time I'll just swap it with a cheap Casio.
Maybe this one is already.
I mean, he actually reaches into his pocket and pulls out 3 different watches. I mean, I got a few I can select from.
That was pretty smooth. I did not notice that at all.
Given what Isabella has told me about who's after her, and by proxy the rest of you, you should probably be a little more aware. This time it was a watch. Don't know what could be next time.
Yeah, it might be another DVD.
I don't think you would get that from her.
Not from her.
But there's a lot of other things she could use.
Are you going to test all of the group's awareness, Emilio?
Probably.
Be careful that they're in a good mood. We don't want you to lose that hand.
I'll make sure it's nothing important. A watch.
You know, that doesn't always matter how important it is. It's more the act of it itself.
I understand. I won't steal any rings. People seem to get mad when I do that.
Don't steal anything from Nicholas, period. How about that?
and Roscoe just laughs really, really hard.
That's more for your own safety than his. He tends to have an affinity for cursed objects.
For him, as I've already got a duplicate medical bag like he likes to have, his little satchel of toys. I was going to replace it with one filled with plushies. Little stuffed animals.
You
didn't
I'm
hear
not
that,
sure
Roscoe.
how he would react.
You didn't hear that, Roscoe, but I'm going to switch it out.
Hear what?
Exactly.
Plushies and DVDs.
Yeah.
Well, I'll take you out, Roscoe.
And good to see you, Spilla.
Good to see you. We should spend more time together.
And as
Sounds
he takes
good.
you out, we're actually going to cut there because we're going to come back to that possibly. We flash over to Jackie and Jenny.
Yeah, Jackie has picked Jenny up to take her.
You've been told by Dawn to meet her at a bar actually in Wicker Park, not your domain, the actual Wicker Park rack itself.
Okay.
It's a bar called the Horse You Rode In On.
Okay.
I know it's an odd name for a bar, but...
Is there one next to it, the Horseshoe Road?
Well, you're going to find out when you get there, aren't you? But I'm going to first turn it over to you two on the car ride because Dawn agreed to a meeting, set it up, but that's all the info you have. And I'll let you all have a discussion so that you can pregame Jenny on what's coming.
All right, so give me your pitch.
Bobby Weatherbottom is ineffective and a liability, and I'm going to take him off your hands and in turn take care of Duncan McTavish, and we can all live happily ever after. That's the shorter version of it. The elevator pitch.
Yeah, okay.
Well,
I will say, expect conscription.
yes, I know. If she doesn't like my pitch, I will walk. I don't have to help her. I don't have to help Bobby even. It's more of a being nice to Bobby kind of thing. So, just saying.
She's not going to see it that way.
That's fine, but she can't force me to do anything. I mean, and if she wants to, she can try, I suppose. I mean, shit, wouldn't be the first gangrel to leave the city of Chicago. Probably won't be the last. So.
There are certain things that are beneficial when you're working for the upper echelons. Like, I have access to an impeccable forger. I have access to get information that no one else can get. And honestly, as well as money is nice, information is king.
Sure.
So, understand that if you are put between a rock and a hard place with her, it may not be the worst deal to take. Because if you piss off an archon, especially one like her, she will hunt you down all over the world.
No. We'll see.
I'm just letting you know ahead of time what to expect.
Yeah, I appreciate it. But like, I mean, with the way this conversation's going, I'm just as likely to say, pull the car over, I'm gonna walk home, and just say, fuck it, Bobby can sort it out on his own. So
Yes, but he owes you a life boon. How valuable is that to you?
right now, with this conversation, not very. I mean, he's incompetent, so his only value is his closeness to the prince in theory, and even then that's questionable. His wife thing is a liability. The anarchs are possibly onto him in some capacity or suspect him, which means he's got no friends there.
Yes, if he has not given her any information, they suspect him.
I'm just saying.
It was a stupid thing to put a Ventru in there.
Bobby's just not very effective.
He's
and I'm
not
just feeling
on top
like,
of it, but he's also a Ventru in a Ventru-run city.
That's fine.
So I'm saying that putting him in that position already made him suspect.
Oh, I see where you're going now. Okay. I was going to say,
They
'cause I
would
was
not ever fully believe that he was truly Anarch.
I mean, you never know. Sometimes people like to what they put on the black lipstick and the black eyeliner and some black clothes, and they go out and
Play the rebel.
flip the bird to their parents' house as they walk out the front door, and they come back the next morning. You know how it is.
Right. Right. Sorry, no, my childhood was pretty much non-existent, so...
Well, I wasn't saying that this was an experience that I had. I'm just saying I assume that there are adventurers who do this kind of thing. I don't know.
I have no idea. If they do, they sure don't let that get around.
I mean, they should. They'd probably, I don't know. You guys are so...
They'd be more likable?
Probably. I mean, there's only so much tightness that you can have.
I agree.
So,
I agree. That's why I do extracurricular activities.
wink.
But no, I say talk to her because who knows? She might be in a mood tonight where she doesn't try to force the issue. But if she does, just know what you're walking into. You might be able to negotiate a term of service instead of just open-ended like mine was.
Yeah. I'll leverage everything I have to, or anything I have to. I don't plan on, like I said the other night, I don't plan on serving out the rest of my existence
Exactly.
as a pawn on her board or her boss's board. And yeah.
And when
I
she
also don't
becomes
plan
the
on dying in
boss, she's
Chicago.
going to be an absolute nightmare.
Oh, yeah. Well, even more reason I don't want to work for her long term.
Yes.
Longer than I have to. So
Yes.
I already have an idea in my head of how to do it if this all goes well, so that hopefully we can get this resolved quickly, so I don't have to deal with this longer than necessary.
Excellent.
And then Bobby won't be my problem anymore either. So
Yes.
he's not gonna like that one, but that's not my problem. So
He will be Fiorenza's problem.
possibly. He might be Evan's problem. I don't know. We'll
Evan's
figure
problem.
it out. No, I wouldn't do that to Evan. I wouldn't do that to him. Poor fellow. I couldn't do that to him. I could, but I won't. Probably will. He'll probably go vacation in Mexico for a time. And yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And as you pull up, yes, there is a bar called the Horse You Rode Out On, right next to it.
I wonder if they're connected. They have like a door, enter one, enter out, exit out the other.
I've never been in, but we will see.
Oh, you want to do it? Take a bet. I'm sorry.
You know
It's
what?
the
She
mood.
opens up her purse and she takes out. Are you for or against?
I'm for there being the entrance exit kind of deal.
Okay, I'll put 100 on it. That does
Oh.
not.
Okay. Genevieve pulls out the equivalent. She's like, "Here we go."
Etienne, hold on to this.
Yes, ma'am. And he reaches back and takes it.
Now
It's-
let's go
it's
in
so-
and see.
Yeah. Yes, indeed.
And as you go into this place, it's odd. It's country western-ish. And I say ish because the people there are not wearing pure country western. The music sure as hell isn't, but the decor is. It's an odd mishmash of modern and, country decor. But when you step inside, Jackie, the first thing you notice, it's got a busy crowd, but there's a guy with the Motley Crue t-shirt that's waiting by the door when you come in, one you've seen before.
Well, first she's scanning around to see if there is a connection to the other bar.
Not that you can see. You see what it looks like there might have been. There is a wall that is not matching the rest of the place, like somebody
Bricked it
literally
in.
walled down the middle of the bar.
Looks like you lost the bet, Jenny.
It's fine. You win some, you lose some. Just how it is. I haven't gotten a bet in a while, so I figured I'd have some fun tonight.
No, that's fine. It's fun.
And the guy in the Motley Crue shirt moves over. She's in the back.
Excellent. Thank you.
I presume that's the one she's here to
Yes.
speak with.
Yes.
Yeah, I'll take you.
Okay.
And as he's walking through, the crowd seems to naturally part around him. You don't quite know why. He doesn't feel obvious predator. He doesn't give the vibe, but for some reason the crowd seems to be avoiding him. And he takes you into the back area, and it's actually a storeroom that he opens the door to. And when you come in there, there's a young Asian lady. Jackie, you recognize this as Dawn, of course. She's actually sitting on boxes of beer.
Mm-hmm.
And she's just sitting there. And she looks at him, just nods at him, and he closes the door.
Jackie nods in deference. Archon. This is
evening.
Genevieve Schutz.
Good evening, Archon. And Genevieve kind of gives a partial bow thing.
Jackie, you arranged this meeting.
Indeed. Genevieve has something she would like to discuss with you.
I know there was no purpose to it, not stated ahead of time. What do you wish to say, Genevieve?
We have a mutual acquaintance, you and I, one Mr. Bobby Weatherbottom. He has unfortunately fallen under a life boon to me and decided to conscript me into saving his life, or his unlife, I guess, because he fears that the anarchs that he has been embedded with by a certain individual are possibly on to him, and he doesn't want to die again. So, based on some things that have shaken out and happened, 1 + 1 brings us to here.
You wish to take away my asset, my tool.
No. I want to save your asset, and I want to fix the problem so that we can all move on with our own lives.
No. You wish to take away my asset. His purpose is to die.
You need Bobby to die?
I know where he is at all times.
Okay.
When Duncan makes a move on him, because he is suspicious, I will be there to fix the problem.
But what happens if Duncan moves on him right this second and you're here talking to us?
There are other assets to watch him.
Ah. That's smart.
He is bait. But you wish to save him, so what do you offer?
Saving him is probably a really kind term. It's more of, I just don't really care what happens to Bobby, but I'm tired of the whole life boon thing. And I don't want to be viewed as somebody who neglected that, the value therein of said life boon. So I was more going to offer killing Duncan McTavish so that we can move on from all of this. Because I don't understand why you all haven't done it already. And you're stringing out a incompetent Ventru like Bobby to do it.
You have put yourself in a difficult position, you see. Now that I've told you his purpose is to die, your life boon, honor bound, makes you to keep that from happening.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm also, I could also go tell him that I'm calling in the life boon and he has to walk into the sun.
And that would solve it either way.
I
would find a new one. So again, I ask you, what do you offer? You wish to kill Duncan McTavish? That solves my problem.
Hmm.
But how would you do it? Let's put it
Mm,
a different way. What do you bring to the table? What do you add to my calculations?
I don't know what all you're working with, so that's difficult answer. But I guess I would say one gangrel to another gangrel. I would offer him the chance to, you know, I was really, 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 really just hoping I could basically go up to him and say, "Hey, dog, you and I, whoever walks out of this, winner take all." Because Chicago kind of fucking blows. It's boring here, but also, since it seems like we're gonna have an Anarch war anyway, why not set the fucking fuse alight?
Interesting.
Or was that also part of your plan? You're gonna kill Duncan McTavish. It's gonna ignite the Anarch war that they're fomenting right now.
I don't care about an Anarch war. Any Anarch war that starts in Chicago will be put down swiftly by Tyrus, Dread, Nadine, and the rest of that crew. That is their actual purpose, among other things. How about this? Recent information I have gained from Bobby suggests to me that Joseph Kerr is susceptible to switching allegiance.
That sounds about right.
He is unsure about Anita's current motivations and actions.
Mm.
Bobby would be the wrong one to approach him. But if you approach him, convince him to assist in our cause in return for joining Chicago as a proper person, I would have no need for Bobby, would I?
Probably. I mean, I also I should point out that this is a one-time deal for me. I don't really plan on staking the rest of my career on the Anarchs and the Justicars and all their machinations.
You do realize I already can command you to do what I wish anytime I want. I am an Archon. You are not.
Oh, no, you misunderstand me. I mean, I'm gonna help you with this operation, and then I'm done. I'm not. You can't expect me to like conscript me, because I was warned of that. I was warned, don't allow yourself to be conscripted, which I wasn't planning on doing anyway, because I owe a lot of favors to a lot of people that I really don't want to have to let them down.
I can give it consideration.
Well, honestly, if you don't like my offer of this help one time, then we don't have to work together. I also don't have to save Bobby. I was just, bored. So,
And she looks over at Jackie. She doesn't understand how this works fully, does she?
No.
all right. Well, tell you what. Since I apparently don't understand, and you don't seem to understand what I'm saying either, do what you want with Bobby. You're already going to do it anyway. Yeah.
I
Jenny,
will lay it
you
on
know
the
too
table.
much information.
You will help me in this, or I will declare you to be blood hunted, as is my right as an Archon. I have supreme authority over any prince, any domain, to kill who I wish, when I wish. You will help me. And depending on how well you do, I will give that consideration as to if I need you in further actions.
Gotcha.
It is a very simple thing. I want him dead. I do not care how I do it. I do not care who I have to kill to get it done. I want him dead. Please, both of you give me an insight roll.
Ambitions or desires?
Either one will work. Desires works particularly well, but both of you can give me an insight roll. It's a lot of dice I see thrown. 5's pretty damn good.
I'm not done.
Of course not. 7, okay? Jenny? Jenny's got 2. Ah, you got a crit, which makes it 6. Both of you realize the way she's speaking right now, it is not impartial. For some reason, this is very personal to her. You heard real emotion behind it that she normally doesn't show.
Understood, Archon.
Very good. If Bobby lives or not, as long as Duncan dies, is not my concern. His wife, not my concern. For all I care, you can kill him yourself. Get me Duncan McTavish. And get him for me before Tyrus finds him.
Okay. Well, I guess I better go figure out how to get him.
And she leans forward and looks at both of you. And if it involves removing obstacles, and you choose to remove them, and Prince Jackson has a thing to say about it, you acted on orders from me. Understand what that means?
Understood.
Good. Well, and you see, it's almost like a switch is flipped. Is our meeting finished?
I believe so. Do you agree, Genevieve?
Yeah. I guess I need to go kill Duncan McTavish so we can continue on with this. So.
All right. Thank you, Archon, for your time this evening.
Thank you. And thank you, Miss Schutz, for your assistance.
Oh, of course.
And Jackie opens up the door to leave.
And as you go to leave, of course, Motley Crue is still outside the door. And as you go and open the door to step out, he actually looks at Dawn, and you catch just the barest perceptible nod from her as he lets you walk past.
Have a good evening, Jazz.
Oh, we will. Not our normal place,
No.
but I don't know. It has a certain feel to it.
You fit right in.
Well, reminds me of some of the dive bars back in the day.
Exactly.
And as you all leave, he doesn't follow. He stays right back there by the door. And I turn it back to you all in the vehicle as you're going to leave.
Well, at least it's not the direct conscription just yet.
That's some bullshit. Should never, ever should have put any faith or hope in this kind of thing. I should have just gone and fucking done it. Because
yes, but then you could have made an enemy out of her. Because I think I think she wants the glory.
Trust me, she already doesn't like me. Threatening me with a blood hunt like that.
Oh no, that's not personal, darling. That is within her rights as an Archon.
Yes, but her whole thing going on here is personal, which make that a personal threat. She already doesn't view the other Archons very favorably. She's looking at them purely as
competition.
I don't even think competition. They're pawns. She's waiting for them to go out there and whatever.
No, she said she wants McTavish before Tyrus finds him.
Yes, but
So that is a competition.
Well, I more meant she's just waiting for them to throw themselves at the Anarchs once the inevitable war breaks out, because that's what their job is.
You eliminate Duncan McTavish, most of the Anarchs' teeth have been removed.
Yeah, except for the teeth of the individual behind the Anarchs and behind the Prince. So we'll see. I don't appreciate being threatened with a blood hunt though, because yeah, I'll fucking disappear if I have to. I don't give a shit.
I know, Jenny, but that is the way it works.
Yeah.
If you try to decline, they can have you blood hunted.
Well,
because you know too much.
Well, I'm gonna never interact with her again. Because I don't want to know any more about anything. I just want to know Duncan McTavish is either in a bag somewhere or whatever, or dead, an ash pile, bag of ashes, bag of his body, whatever. Because she's gonna keep sprinkling out bullshit so she can be like, well, you know too much. But I mean, the gangrel have a history of disappearing into the fucking wilds, and why not me too? Because sure as shit, this fucking city doesn't agree with me. So
yes, but the nice thing is that we just got licensed to kill and destroy whomever may be trying to protect him. And that could even include Baron Anita herself.
Yeah, but is that yeah. I don't know. Whatever. Yeah. You're gonna sorry. My mood has been greatly soured at this point. So apologies that I'm not seeing the bright side of all of these things. So
I understand. I understand you went in with an expectation. And she did not meet your expectation. She is not a businesswoman. She is a dictator.
Yeah, and this reaffirmed a lot of things to me and my belief systems around things and why Chicago fucking sucks. So
most archons and justicars are dictators.
Yeah. Well.
So, honestly, once you get this done, well, we get this done, because you know you're not doing this alone, right? You are not doing this alone.
I mean, who knows?
No, you are not doing this alone.
Look, I wasn't joking when I said
I know you want to go
Duncan
toe to toe with him, but I'm sorry, but no. You're not doing it alone. That's not how we operate here. This is a group project. Yes.
It's not. I don't know about that. It's a loose gray area because you're talking about getting conscripted and stuff. Turning this into a group project drags everybody else into her bullshit.
Oh no, you just utilized other assets to enhance your odds. Gotta know how to spin it, Jenny. And those are your assets, not hers.
Gotcha.
This is playing in the big leagues, darling.
Yeah, this is why I didn't ever interact. This is why I just did my fucking business stuff, made my money, whatever. Because this shit sucks.
Yes, it does. Why do you think I'm trying to retire?
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't plan on going to Mexico and disappearing, but I was like, well, shit.
It's always an option.
If she says it's a blood hunt, I'll be like, peace.
Yes, and don't fool yourself if you think Fiorenza doesn't plan to one day be in the big leagues herself.
Oh, I'm sure, but Fiorenza's her own person thing, and
Yeah, and she's your Mola.
yes. And someday I'm gonna find. Someday I'm gonna put out the call to my sire and be like, "Hey, let's blow this fucking popsicle stand and go do something else that's a lot more fun away from all this bullshit." So
Oh, I remember what it was like to be young and still have dreams.
I don't really necessarily have dreams. It's just more of like, I don't want to fucking die for this fucking bitch. So
Well, I haven't yet.
yeah, and you're also talking about becoming a prince, which has a terminal end date on it for most princes, so that you can escape her. So that's why I'm also saying potato.
I get it. I get it. I do. I've also been working a more subtle way too. I've been basically pissing her off, Dawn, so she isn't inclined to want to work with me.
More power to you.
I did get my digs in on her any chance I get. To show her I'm far better than she thinks I am. And I'm very hard for her to predict.
I gotcha.
So,
Well,
yeah, but... So I'm trying to give myself insurance 2 ways, not just one.
I gotcha. Well, yeah. Take me back to Phoenix. I gotta blow off some steam. So
Sure.
And as you two drive off, we flash back to Roscoe as he's leaving Isabella's bar. Roscoe, as you go back to your truck, there's a guy leaning against it. He's in a very nice suit, got a beard, not a big beard, very closely kept, neatly groomed, brown hair. And he's not leaning really hard against it. He's just kind of there at your truck. And as you walk up, he sees you and he gets a smile on his face. Roscoe Akers. You don't mind if I call you Roscoe, do you? You're muted.
Well, that is my name.
Oh,
So I suppose I shouldn't have any problems with you calling me that.
it's
What
nice
can
to
I do
meet
for
you. I'll introduce myself. My name is Carl Schreck.
Okay. Good evening.
I've arrived in town and I've gotten a number of status updates from Victor, and I just wanted to meet you myself. I know he can be, how can I put it? He's a bit blunt sometimes and a bit overly zealous in the performance of his duties, but I just wanted to say, meet you myself to get my own opinion. And he actually reaches his hand out to shake.
Well, being unsure of my situation, I will return the handshake.
It's nice to finally meet you. Your sire has spoken highly of you in our conversations we've had.
I understand she's on her way here.
She is, among others. I'm not sure exactly her. I'm not sure her exact time. We keep that obviously vague, of course. It's the best way to do it. I just... security and all that good stuff.
I understand. That's important.
I just wanted to actually get a chance to meet with you and I don't know, check out what kind of person you are. If I go by Victor's reports, I'd think I was dealing with a two-headed demon or something, just his reports are nothing but hostile, I guess you could call it. He has his uses.
Well, he is a tool.
In many ways, I've heard. Though personally, when it comes down to things, you use what is effective at the time. I'm sure you and I will have a chance to talk in the future. I do want to revisit the whole chantry business that went on, and I want to get your opinion on several things with the chantry in general, of course, and discuss your status as a member. while he has the right to make his decision, I also, as the head of the order now, I like to review to make sure his brashness is not overstepping things.
I certainly would. I look forward to that conversation.
Oh, good. I will arrange something with you in the near future. I still have a couple people to meet, and I have to get my own feel for things, of course. And I have a big delegation coming that I have to... It's not exactly every day that we get prestigious people in the city like we're having planned. So I have to make sure everything is arranged. You know, we like our ceremonies.
Of course, yes.
Well, it's very nice to meet you, and I will say, you're not quite what I expected.
I'm actually, having met with Victor several times at this point, I'm glad to hear that.
No. Like I said, he is a bit abrupt, brash, a bit of an asshole, I think. And he's good at what he does, but he doesn't make friends doing it. And in case you haven't realized, these days, all us Tremere have is each other anymore. We kind of have to stick together as best we can.
Agreed. I don't want to overstep our initial friendly greeting, but I think sometimes we're not taking care of all of our Tremere members. I mean, and that some of them may be unfairly hung out to dry.
I understand your feelings on that. I've actually met with the members of, we'll call them splinter groups, more than once. Some of them are more stubborn than others when it comes to looking at what's in our best interest as a whole. I've tried to reach out. I do what I can to reach out. They just don't seem to have the same feelings about unity and about the way to survive and the way to be strong. But that's neither here nor there tonight, especially in a place that we can't fully secure to have these conversations. So I will arrange a meeting as soon as I have an opening in my schedule. I'd love to meet with you. Of course, out of fairness to you, we will not have the meeting at the Chantry. I will make sure that, given your current status, we find a neutral ground that we can meet on that is not favorable to either of us.
Understood and agreed.
Very good. Well, it's nice to meet you. And he reaches out his hand to shake again.
Okay, I return the handshake.
And he nods to you, and you see him just turn and start walking down the street. There's nobody with him, no bodyguards that you can see. He just casually walks down the street. And as you hop in your car to leave, right here is where we're going to go to break, everybody, with Isabella and Roscoe having a good talk. Jenny and Jackie having an unpleasant discussion with Dawn, but there's a silver lining to several parts of that. And they also came out with information that I wonder if they're going to try to get to the bottom of that one. And of course, Roscoe having met the head of the group that calls themselves the Presidium now. We will see you all in 10 minutes. Please enjoy the break.
Introduce myself, though I fear you've heard my name, that you've heard the story of Countess Bathory. History is told by the victors, heroic warriors, and mad kings. Will you hear my story from the lips of Bathory? Drinking the blood of political rivals keen to destroy me and take my property. My plea was never offered. All my confessors were all tortured, or how they destroyed me for my property. They put me up, shut me up, shut me up, put me up, brick me up, shut me up, shut me up, and told a story of a bitch called Bathory. Let's sucking demon, queen of hell, sadistic killer, a monster tale, bathing in the blood of virgins, beautiful, drinking the blood of virgins, youthful, the blood countess. Who is she really? Who is she really? Blood countess. Who is she really? Elizabeth Bathory. Splinters of my soul cut through your skin and burrow within, and burrow within. Splinters of my soul cut through your skin and burrow within, and burrow within. Splinters of my soul cut through your skin and burrow within, and burrow within. I've always been the hunter, nothing on my tail. But there was something in you I knew could make that change. To capture a predator who can't remain the prey, you have to become an equal in every way. So look in the mirror and tell me, who do you see? Is it still you, or is it me? Become the beast, we don't have to hide. Do I terrify you? Or do you feel alive? Do you feel the hunger? Does it howl inside? Does it terrify you? Or do you feel alive? Splinters of my soul cut through your skin and burrow within, and burrow within. Splinters of my soul cut through your skin and burrow within, and burrow within. So embrace the darkness, and I will help you see that you can be limitless and fearless if you follow me. We are the lions in the world of lions. We are the predators, the hunters, the hunters, the hunters. Become the beast. We don't have to hide. Do I terrify you? Do you feel alive? Do you feel the hunger? Does it howl inside? Does it terrify you? Or do you feel alive? Splinters of my soul cut through your skin and burrow within, and burrow within. Splinters of my soul cut through your skin and burrow within, and burrow within. Splinters of my soul cut through your skin and burrow within, and burrow within. Splinters of my soul cut through your skin to burrow within. Do you burrow within? Do you feel the hunger? Does it howl inside? Does it terrify you? Or do you feel alive?
Welcome back. Before the break, well, the Cody had a lot of little business to tend to with each other, handling little odd projects. I spoke with Dawn Akata. Isabella and Roscoe had a nice talk. Roscoe met a friend. But now we're actually flashing over to Roscoe and Jenny. Where is Roscoe and Jenny meeting?
You know what? They're gonna meet at the almost completed construction site for Amethyst
Okay.
on the bar that's on like the route, like the top couple floors.
The building is done. What's
Yeah.
going on now is getting all the interior, that's done. It's getting the things that go in the interior in. Tables.
Yep.
Have the windows been put in yet?
Yes, the windows are in place. You are safe from that.
The raw constructions is done. Now it's the, decor and all the other stuff you need before you can open it. So we're going to open up with you two on the roof of this nice new resort that has been built but not fully opened yet.
It's really impressive, Jenny.
Thanks. It's good to come up and kind of survey, as it were. So
Mhm.
it's nice to be above it all. Sorry.
No, don't.
Anyway,
This is great.
what did you need from me?
Um, I've been going over in my head some conversations I'd had with Sun Chi a while back, when her rider broke through. Um, there, the language that it used a lot, where it seemed to remind me a lot of the Bahari, but really a really extreme version. I just wondered. I knew you had some background in it, but I didn't. I thought maybe I could run some of it past you, and you could give me some clues, like who might that be?
Yeah, sure. I mean, it's very nice of you to assume that there are extreme. No, I'm joking. Everybody always says that all the Bahari are extreme. So I was just, it's good that you're noticing that there's
Yeah, there's quite a range.
variations.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, sure. I'd be happy to help any way I can. So,
It's the one that came through. It seems to have well, from my point of view, an irrational hate of men, that they ruin everything, that they've trampled and crushed the garden, them and their male things, and that she would pretty much like to kill them all. But that it seemed extreme. I mean, I know that's not like most of the Bahari that I know of. Well, I mean, you sometimes you can be a little harsh, but not like that.
how many Bahari have you interacted with in your
Maybe
days?
like 1.5, including you.
Oh, I mean,
Seriously, not many. Just I just know of them more than I know them. You know what I mean?
totally understandable considering everybody's worship of Cain in their own way, as it were. It's not a big surprise that the Bahari are typically not viewed favorably in most cities and domains and locales. Yeah, some of the verbiage you're talking about definitely sounds like some of the Bahari stuff, specifically mentioning like the garden, trampling the garden. That is a tale that goes back, and it's kind of one of those tales that kind of comes forward in a lot of, from what I remember. So it's not a big surprise that they mentioned that. Hating men,
Yeah, that was pretty explicit.
I will say in my past, I would say yes, definitely sounds on brand. Currently, I'm not really sure. I don't think so. It's
Okay.
like you said, there's various, shades of gray or gradation or whatever to the Bahari, as it were.
Mhm.
They all kind of follow their own thing.
Mm.
So, if you are brought up in one that is more extreme, you're going to be saying things like all men must die.
Okay.
The ones I've interacted with in Chicago are more, if you do something horrific or gross, we will punish you if you do it with, like, in our kind of circle, if that makes sense.
It does, and that's kind of what I was hoping to capitalize on, because I would like to get Sun Chi out of the position she's in, and if I could kind of conscript some help, uh, knowing that she's being mistreated and unfairly
Mm-hmm.
by men such as Victor.
Well, maybe it depends. I know I was warned about the Painted Lady.
Mm-hmm.
I was told, one of the last things that I was told by Azuli was, beware of the Painted Lady, because she is like a splinter of the Bahari in a sense. She is Bahari, but she is to the extreme. So kind of like what you're talking about.
It's been a while, but the word cultivar seems to come to mind.
The cultivars, that might be Chicago specific. I'm not sure. I'll have to educate myself. So I will endeavor to ask Azuli about that.
I would really appreciate that if you could just, if you have a moment to think of asking her.
Oh yeah, no, being honest with you, I was planning on asking her if it would be possible to procure some ash with the help of any of her thin-blooded friends.
That would really be helpful too.
Yeah, because I was trying to think about, I was like, well, Azuli knows a bunch of thin bloods, and I know she wants to protect them, and ash is dangerous, so this could be a way of helping her protect them, but also getting stuff so that we can kind of do our end of it, as it were. So
Right. Well, like I said earlier, I just need one pill well, basically just a touch. I'm not going to take it, so I'll give it back, and you give it back to whoever it belongs to.
Oh no, she cares about the thin bloods. I don't think that that's wrong necessarily. I don't think that I would want to give it back to them and risk that they hurt themselves with it. So
Okay.
I think that would be a good way for me to do harm to somebody in her circle, to draw the ire of her. So
Got you.
probably best it just gets flushed down the toilet or something.
Yeah, but then you're going to have alligators on ash.
If alligators are susceptible to ash, then we have a fucking potent weapon that we need to utilize, because that sounds amazing. Who doesn't want to have a bunch of fucking alligators that are just like, I wonder if we can give alligators a bunch of cocaine and just like let them loose in the Undercity.
There you go.
No, that'd be too expensive.
Projects for another day, I guess.
Sorry. Yeah. No, that's yeah.
Okay.
It's fun to think. No. Yeah, like I said, as far as I can tell on your stuff, it sounds like Bahari extremism. I will ask Azuli if she can elaborate any, so that hopefully I can give you a better answer. Now, are you suggesting that like she would want to save Sunchi, or?
Well, I mean, if not just Sunchi herself, just to see the men punished who are seeking to do her harm.
I gotcha. Yeah, I don't know. I'll feel the water out on that, but seeing as Sunchi is possibly wrapped up in a more extreme version of the Bahari, she probably doesn't want to necessarily connect herself to that, if that makes sense.
No, it does.
So,
but I appreciate anything you can find out. That'd be great.
No, I'll do what I can. So,
all right, thanks.
Anything else?
No, that's it for me. Is there anything you need from me? Any help tracking anybody? I mean, that's my big thing. So,
yeah, one of these nights, need to find Joseph Kerr. And yes,
okay. And I know what he looks like. That won't be a problem.
Perfect. Because we're gonna find him and drag him out of his fucking hole, and then he's either gonna shape up or he's gonna ship out. So, yeah.
Okay.
Sorry, been a bad couple of nights. So, yeah, but Joseph Kerr is important now. So.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll be glad to help whenever you need it.
I'll let you know. I'm sure Jackie will probably mention it to you too. So.
All right. All right then. Well, I will let you get back to surveying all you can see.
Thanks. It's good. It's good. I'll be glad when this is done. I'll be glad when I'm out of this fucking city. I know I put all this effort in. I'll be glad when I'm gone, though. So
you can't leave. We'll miss you.
Roscoe, tell you what.
What?
When I leave, come to Vegas. You can hang out. It's fun. We can go visit the old haunts, and you can see where Nicholas did things to that corpse.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm just fucking with you.
Okay. All right, cool.
But you can come to Vegas. It's fine. You don't have to stay in fucking Chicago. Everyone acts like they have to stay here. They come here and they're stuck here. It's like,
well, I've been in better places, but it's home for now.
I gotcha. Well, safe travels, Roscoe.
All right, thanks. You too, Jenny. I'll see you.
As Roscoe goes to leave, we actually are flashing over to Isabella once again. Wow, your pub's a busy place this night, isn't it?
Popular
This episode because as you're there, it's after closing, when Honor comes in. And tonight Honor is wearing, well, she's got an extremely tight outfit, but it's very interesting. It shows a hint of skin. It's sheer in a few places that doesn't show skin. It is alluring without being well into sleazy. And as she comes in, she immediately sees you, comes over and just wraps her arms around you in a hug. Isabella, it's so good to see you. I've been busy and you've been busy, but I'm glad we get to talk. I haven't seen you in a while. How you been doing?
Make more time for each other, definitely. I've been good. How are you? You look good.
No, I mean, I think I found my style.
Yeah?
I think I found what's been working for me. And it's been interesting for sure. Been a busy few nights.
Feel like there's a story there.
Oh, there's a lot of stories there, but most of them, I think the fun part is to go with never kiss and tell. Oh, no, let's be fair. I don't mind telling. I've been putting to work what I've been learning and been kind of fun just picking up men left and right. Haven't had this much chance to feed in a long time.
As long as you're careful, what's the harm in it?
That's right. Spread it around a little. Don't hit the same place twice in a row. And it's good practice. So what have you been up to? Anything cool?
Been some pretty wild things lately myself.
Oh, you got to tell me.
Have you heard of ash?
Like ashes, like fireplace ash, or?
No, like the drug.
I've heard rumors about it, bits and pieces here and there. I haven't done it myself. I'm still, Keisha says, I'm still a bit of goody two shoes when it comes to drugs. I don't even like my food to be on stuff, but you hear bits and pieces of it here and there, and it seems to be picking up steam with the kind for sure.
Yeah, I would recommend actually staying away from this. The interesting story is that I saw someone get murdered by an ash demon, essentially, while on the drug. Yeah. It was an odd day.
That sounds absolutely horrifying.
Exactly. I don't understand. But there was a being of sort that appeared. We could see it. A thin blood girl. She was on it. And attacked by this thing.
I've heard rumors. Nothing official. It's not been in the papers, but I've heard bits and pieces. Something like that happened in a nightclub in Indianapolis last week, I think.
Last week?
Yeah, the DJ there, he started off screaming. He was right in the middle of a set. He was screaming about something was following him, and he keeps seeing it, and he needs to leave him the fuck alone. And then fight broke out, is what it says, and he was found dead. A coroner's report said it was heart failure. 22-year-old man. I'm not sure it was heart failure. I don't know what it was. But
I'm sure there was money involved in that coroner's report.
Keisha does keep a tight rein on a lot of those kind of reports.
I mean, I can imagine that'd be a huge breach if it got out in a city.
She puts the nix on just about anything supernatural.
You have to these days. Does it happen a lot there?
The only one I know of was that one about a week ago. I can look into it if you want.
Yeah, so there's more to the story. We had someone look into the ash using weird magic mumbo jumbo. I don't understand it. Whatever. Ask a Tremere.
I'd rather not.
Exactly. That's why I don't know the details. But he said that it came from Indiana.
I mean, word on the street is that ash is the new thing. Supposedly hard to get, but it's the new in thing. Everyone wants some, kind of a thing. And like any new fad drugs, designer drugs, a new one pops up every couple of months.
Yeah, but not all of those are the ashes of our kind.
Wait, back. Roll that back. What?
Ash.
Okay.
Think about it. Honor, you're a smart girl.
It's made from our kind.
Kindred. I mean, I don't know the details of it, but from everything I've heard, that seems to be the case.
What kind of sick bastard's gonna be snorting lines of one of us?
Apparently, whoever's interested in these fad designer drugs. I don't know. Especially, I don't understand, especially when it's killing, like, it's giving you a bad trip and it's killing you. I'll rephrase. Sometimes drugs generally don't do great things for your body, but it's a bad trip plus it's killing you. There's not really a win there.
That's concerning. That's actually downright worrisome.
Have there been any... Everything seems... I've seen a lot of information about Indiana with it. Have you had a lot of missing kindred?
I mean, what do you compare it to? What do you call a lot of missing kindred? Is it like Milwaukee?
I guess you are new there.
Well, is it
so
like Milwaukee missing? I mean, we have kindred come and go. It's an open city like most cities, so people come, they show up, they're there for a while, they leave. It's hard to tell when someone's missing.
That Tremere Mumbo Jumbo did give us a name of who we think
was
the kindred. Name Harvey ring any bells?
Harvey. Last name wouldn't happen to have been Coolidge, would it?
I don't have a last name.
Keisha was bitching about, she had a business deal. She was working with a Harvey, and he skipped town before they could finalize the business deal. And she's bitching about, unreliable ass Bruja.
There been many disappearing around Keisha?
No, that's the only one that she's bitched about. I mean, for all I know, she could add more. That was the one she was bitching about, though. She's real upset. It was a whole business deal that they had set up.
Did you catch that while eavesdropping?
Maybe.
I won't tell.
It was a business deal having to do with the liquor licenses. She's trying to cut into the trade and get control of the liquor licenses in the city. Yeah, you'd be amazed how much power you can wield over various kindred. We seem to like our bars and pubs and places and nightclubs. You get a lot of leverage when you have the control of the liquor board.
Yeah, I mean, I can imagine. We have a lot in our pocket, that's for sure.
Yeah, and he had something to do with it. I don't know what.
How is she doing, by the way? I haven't talked to her in a bit.
Oh, she's busy. Always going here to there, popping over to this place, popping over to that place. Sometimes at the church. She hasn't as much time at the church as she normally would. She seems to be making a lot of power moves, and she's trying to... How did she put it? She's trying to shore up the riffraff a bit in the city.
That sounds kind of worrying. How is she defining riffraff?
I think it's the same way a lot of people do. The riffraff is those she don't likes.
Yeah.
I know there's a prince of the city. He's not very effective anyway, so I don't know. Maybe she's trying to make a move.
I mean, be a pretty big power play.
You know how that is. It's like there's a Prince of Gary. But is it really a Prince of Gary? Who really runs Gary? Anarchs. Who runs Indianapolis? Anarchs. There's a prince in name. I get the feeling she's trying to, how can I put it? Make it more than a prince in name.
She'd have to, I'd imagine she'd have to have a lot of support for that.
You don't need a lot. You just need the right support.
That
Get a
is
few of the
fair.
barons. Get a few of the barons there to back your claim. Enough of them that it gives you an edge. Then you just beat compliance into the rest of them. You just got to know what to give the barons, and I'm pretty sure she knows more than one way to get the right ones on her side. She seems to be real good at that.
It seems like she's just been having like a good time altogether.
Oh, it's definitely been interesting around there. I made a joke about it the other night about, what do you want to be, Prince? And she actually said, well, maybe.
Huh.
That would be an interesting one. I'm under the impression that there aren't really any princes of her bloodline right now. At least not in America.
It would definitely be different, that's for sure.
Yeah, I mean, she can't do any worse than Decker did, could she?
No, that's not wrong.
She don't strike me as the tyrant type.
Not all tyrants are as obvious, though.
That's probably true, but I don't know. I watch it and I move around the city and talking to Keisha about it. It's just so inefficient the way it's being run right now with, this block is run by this guy and this guy over here, he's got 4 blocks and this lady over here, she's got 7 blocks. And this person only runs, the sewer in this one section. It is really just, it's not very efficient. She seems to think it would run better. If
Efficiency does help with that.
it does. I don't know if she has any other motives with it, but like I said, she can't be as bad as Decker.
I mean, being Prince is a pretty big motive in and of itself.
That's my impression. It seems to me like
I
a
hope-
lot of work. I'd rather be out partying these days.
I was just gonna say, I hope she's taking care of herself with all that. That's quite a lot on her plate.
Keeps her busy. That's why I don't get to listen in as much. But it's not so bad. Gives me time to work my thing. Spend time at the club, go out partying. Doing a lot of that here lately. Really enjoying it. It's like I finally get to let free and do the things that I wasn't allowed to do up in Milwaukee. So party time, party time.
Enjoying your freedom, for sure.
I think I've heard it, best way to describe it, I'm getting to sow my wild oats finally. It's been a lot
We've
of
all
fun.
been there.
It's been a whole lot of fun. Maybe you should come with me one night. Pop over to
I-
Indianapolis. I'll take you to a couple places.
That could be fun.
I know a couple of them. Good rave. You'd be amazed. But some of these, it's hard to find one if you don't want to get a little hit of X. It's hard to find one not on it. But if you work and watch, you can figure out which ones are on it so you can get a clean hit. Because
I'll
like I
have to think
said,
about it.
I'm still not touching the addicts and the druggies. I don't need all that. Just enjoying myself.
That's entirely valid. You got to keep yourself safe during all of it.
Right. You got to have you can push your boundaries, but she's got to keep a couple, just a couple.
Yeah, I'll let you know. There's been a few other things going on here that might need to be taken care of, so it might be a bit, but I'll reach out.
Please,
We
please
need
do.
a girls' night.
We do. We need to go out. I need to take you some places, show you the fun.
do miss you.
Yeah, well, I wish I could live closer, but I don't feel safe being this close to Milwaukee for any length of time. I mean, pop it in to visit, that's great. There's no way in hell he'll have anything set up for me when no one knows I'm coming until the day I'm coming to do it. I stay here too many days in a row. I don't put it past that bastard to come up with something.
No, definitely. I know at one point you said that Keisha was fucking with him, for lack of a better terminology. She's still doing that.
She's graduated to other things. She's spreading rumors in Milwaukee about him.
You tell.
Oh, he's afraid of the lupine. That's why he moved his house. You know, the normal stuff. Saying that the reason he's got his Anubis is compensating. You know, just she thinks it's a game to her. She's just trying to keep him
Right.
off balance, keep him angry at her. But I get the impression she's doing it to make his focus on her while she's setting up other things around him.
Is she funding like business endeavors there? Expanding?
No, she's been meeting with what's his name? That big dude that rides with the wolf pack with her. The Bruja, I can't even remember his name. The one that was guarding Tessa that night. She's been meeting with him a bit here lately. Yeah,
Interesting.
that's just, you know. I mean, I know they were friends before, but she's been meeting with him quite a bit. Who knows? She's hard to guess sometimes.
Definitely. Sounds like she's quite the hard woman to keep up with these days. So I don't blame you.
Don't I know it? I don't even see where she has time to do anything anymore with all the stuff she's got. Fire in the iron, or irons in the fire, I think it is a good way to put it. She's always up to something.
Sounds like she's got a lot of helping hands too.
She's got some. I try not to get involved in it. I'd rather just do some partying.
Mm-hmm. Well, it seems like you're going out, so I won't keep you any longer. And Isabella will give her another hug. Or
And-
like as she like gives her a hug and pulls away, she'll grab under her hands, like hold her hands for a bit.
Okay.
And just like try and subtly see if she has the ring.
No rings on her fingers.
Cool.
And she hugs back and she holds your hand. I'll definitely get with you and we'll figure out a girls' night. We'll go party.
We will. Even if it's not in Indiana, we'll figure out something.
We'll find somewhere good. I mean, there's lots of places. And she turns to leave, and as she's walking out, you notice something odd. Her back of her shoulders are bare, and there's a tattoo on her left shoulder that was not there any other time you've seen her. There's a coiled snake tattoo now on her shoulder that was not there prior.
Great.
And she leaves the place. And now we're going to flash. Probably, is this the same night that Roscoe met with you, Jenny?
If it was early enough in the night, yeah, probably.
I'd imagine it was.
Otherwise, yeah. Okay, sure.
Because if you were checking on your place and then moving stuff in, they only move stuff in so late at night.
Yeah.
So
Oh, yeah.
you're heading over to meet with Azuli. Do you let her know ahead of time, or are you just going to go show up and see what's going on?
I called the bar ahead of time, or the drag club bar thing,
Okay.
to let them know that I was going to be there, and if they could I would take in the show if she's not available, but if she's available, I would like to speak with her if possible. So
Oh, you're told she's always available when she's in the place, and tonight she is in.
Yeah, I'm gonna let Evan take the night off again. I'm gonna drive myself there
Okay.
because actually, no, I don't drive there. No, I'm not gonna do that. Never mind. I do drive there.
Okay. As you pull up out front, tonight there is no poster outside advertising anything. But the girl at the door, the moment she sees you, she obviously recognizes you because she opens the door for you and just smiles, kind of gives you a kind of a wink.
Thank you.
As you go inside. And when you step inside, it's not as busy tonight. They don't seem to be having a drag show tonight. Though there are a number of, some of her bigger performers are walking around the crowd tonight, just visiting with fans. And when you come inside, you notice on a chalkboard, it's written meet and greet.
That's cool. Genevieve will just go park her ass like over, not in the middle of the room like she's always done. She's gonna be out on the edge somewhere. So
You're not even there a minute before Azuli is making a beeline over to you. And as soon as she comes over, she gives you a big hug and kisses you on each cheek. Jenny, glad you could
Azuli.
come and make it tonight. I'm sorry we don't have a big show, but we
no,
do
that's
these every
okay.
once in a while. The fans like to get a chance. They want to get autographs of their favorite people. And some of them get makeup tips. Some of them get outfit tips. It's a thing that the clientele really love to meet with the performers because
It's very cool. No, I'm sorry for dragging you away from your event.
well, I'm not performing. I'm just
Well,
the mother who keeps an eye on everybody.
I mean, dragging you away from doing your thing. I know. I keep showing up and I hold you up for a while, so I apologize.
There's nothing wrong with that. I enjoy our talks.
Well, unfortunately, the conversation tonight is probably not as enjoyable, so I do apologize.
It's got to be more enjoyable than talking to some of these old hags. And a few of the performers look over and they start laughing. But you're the biggest hag of all of us. And Azuli grins.
Yeah, it's been a while since I've been around this specific kind of culture, but nothing wrong with that. That sounded. Sorry, I'm a bit on edge because of some other things that have come up, so I do apologize.
Anything we can help you with, we're willing to help.
I will say some of the things are things I don't really want to drag others into if I can avoid it, since I've already had and she kind of lowers her voice, the threat of a blood hunt put upon me for it. So.
And Azuli reaches over and holds your hands. Anytime you want to come talk, Mother Azuli will be right here. And, you can talk about the problems, and if we can help, we'll help. But if we can't, well, at least you feel better about talking.
Well, I appreciate it. So I do have two things, and I do apologize. They are semi-similar, but they are, one of them directly is I'm hoping to protect your friends, specifically your thin-blooded friends.
And she hasn't let go of your hands. Okay. Well,
so
always like to
I'm
protect
sure.
them.
I don't know if you've heard of it. There's a designer drug called Ash.
Oh yeah, I've heard of it.
Yeah. So I don't know if any of the individuals that you know use it, but if they do, they need to stop.
We've booted a few.
Okay, good. Because it kills the user.
That's not why we booted it. We booted them because of inappropriate actions sometimes on it.
Well, it apparently it ends in death, and it's created by killing us.
We've got a very strict no drug policy with our clientele.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, sure, the Azuli special, it's not really a drug. It's just a drink, a very special drink. But we try not to drugs are a road that once they go down, kind of hollows out everything and doesn't leave anything left.
Yeah, it's can definitely be problematic. Do do you happen to know any of the individuals who are using that I might be able to, their names or locations? Because I need to get my hands on some because we're trying to stop the flow of it into the city.
There's. I have to check our records. We kicked 2 out. We destroyed 1. Sometimes you got to pull up a weed, even if it's in your own garden.
Totally understand.
Adzy's been handling that investigation for me.
Okay.
I will ask him what he's got. What are you looking for on this?
I'm just looking to get my hands on some of the drug itself, because my compatriots have some skill sets I don't have, and we're hoping to utilize those skills to be able to find who's manufacturing it and put a stop to this, because it's bad on multiple fronts.
My understanding from the one that we destroyed, it affects those of our blood or weak blood differently than kine.
Mm-hmm.
Kine get a nice high, hallucinations. Their the thin bloods, they get memories, powers, all from, I don't know where it comes from.
It's
But this particular one, swearing they were somebody else. And that's why we had to destroy them. They were not acting themselves, and then they attacked some of our fellow gardeners.
I gotcha. Yeah. Yeah. So what apparently one of my friends, what they said is that it appears that they kill one of us who are full-fledged, and they use what remains and other things, practices we don't know, etc., to turn it into a drug. When those people use that individual as saying memories and things, they actually do. They're literally ingesting us in some capacity. It's turning them to a fraction of us in a sense.
And she lets
But-
go of your hands for a second, and she pinches her nose. Why won't they learn? They're already considered lesser citizens. They're already considered fodder. Being involved in anything that involves killing our kind is not going to help them. It's only going to drive the panic, drive the fear, and make them bigger targets.
Yeah. I did not experience it, see it. I was surrounded by we had an incident at our group's shared club, and apparently some sort of apparition of the one that had been killed whipped the individuals in the crowd into a frenzy. We had a fight break out in multiple locations in our club, and apparently there was this spirit thing, and it killed the one that was using the drug and then disappeared.
Oh, Adzy will be very interested to hear that.
Well,
He's been trying to find a way to track users. He wants to figure out if there's a way we can figure out who's doing it, so that we can keep him out of, well, not just our place, but he wants to make sure Stedman doesn't have any in his establishment.
well, it seems to impact emotions. Not everybody was having this issue happen to them. Just some, like I said, some fights broke out, and it was pretty instantaneous because I know that I was working my way to an individual, and right before I punched him, he snapped out of it. And apparently, it was about the same exact time that this thing had killed this individual. So
I'll make sure he knows he can use that when he's checking into it. Hopefully, we can find a way to figure out who's on this thing. I'll ask him to see if he can get hold of any. I know none of my people here are using it. I may ask one or, I can ask one or two if they might know where to get some. I'm hesitant to do it because temptation and all that.
Yeah. No, I didn't really want to put you or your people in danger doing this. That's why I was saying if you knew of any that were using it recently, I might be able to find them before they succumb to it themselves. I would just take it from them. So
I'll see what I can find for you, because
I
you're
appreciate
touching
that.
on something that, well, it affects us too.
Of course, I appreciate that. The second bit is more us stuff to a degree. I know haven't been.
She reaches your hands again. Oh, us. Oh, it's an us now. I like that.
Yeah. I know. You're waiting with bated breath, and if you were,
Baited something. You tell me what trap I have to use, and I'll set the bait.
You know what? With the last couple of nights I've had, I would probably be more up to that than you would think. But right now, keeping on track. I have to keep on track. I'm sorry.
Sorry, I'm a distraction. That's
No,
part of the fun.
I know you're fine. I always love giving my friends shit, so it's okay. What was it? I had an acquaintance said that they know somebody who had someone talking through them, and the individual talking through them said that like all men had to be destroyed because they were trampling the garden, and that all men were evil. And when this individual was talking to me about this, my friend, I thought, this sounds kind of like the more hardliner. And then I know you had warned me about the painted lady, and so I was wondering if this sounds like.
It sounds like the kind of shit she'd say. They call themselves cultivars, as in
Okay.
they're going to reap what was sown in the garden. And their terms of reaping, they feel they're going to reap what men have sown, and they're going to reap the men in the process. They are, well, I'd call them men haters, but I think that's mild.
Yeah. From what the individual question was a male, and he said that they were yes, they were definitely not very nice to him about it. So
There's a few of them in Chicago. I don't know where they came from. Maybe 20 years ago, you started hearing bits and pieces. A painted lady seems to be the spokesperson for it, but I get the impression there's somebody behind her that is a lot more powerful. Some circles you mention her name or the cultivars in general, and I feel the fear.
okay.
I avoid them. I avoid her. I avoid anything relating to it.
Yeah. His friend has been captured by some individuals, and he would like to save her, but I don't think that's possible personally because of the individuals who have captured her. He just is trying to figure out who has put her in this position because of the false allegations levied against her because of this individual that was speaking through her. So
Let me make a roll real quick. I gotta see if she knows who you're talking about. Because she spends time in Elysia. So let me make a roll. Let's roll this. And let's go with this. That'll work. I know I should know what you're talking about, but it's not coming to me tonight.
well,
I bet you it's Betsy's perfume. And she says the Betsy's perfume part real loud. And the woman she points at, the drag queen that she points at, just laughs. You know you love it. She leans forward. She puts it on so thick.
yeah. It's not a bad smell though.
I just like to fuck with her on it. It's actually not so bad. But I know I should remember I've heard something about this, but I got to warn you about the Painted Lady. It's not just men she goes after. Her opinion is if you're not part of the solution, you're the problem. So that can fall equally on any sex, any gender, and even no gender. Either you're with her or you're the enemy.
Okay.
Now you see why I avoid her.
No, that's smart. I like I said, I was just trying to, based on the information that my friend had heard, I was trying to see if this was maybe tied into something that I could give him some information about. So
No, she never leaves her shop, but her shop is the basis of it all.
okay.
So if you want to get info, I don't know, have your friend keep an eye on her shop.
I will let him know. So I do appreciate the information.
You won't miss it. There's only one Painted Lady tattoo parlor in the city.
Well, makes things a little bit easier.
Yep.
Just a little bit.
I'd get info for you, but even Adzi, she knows him. She knows me.
Yeah. No, it's okay. I don't want to put you or yours in danger, honestly. I personally do not feel this individual is savable because of the position they find themselves in. And to do so would come at great cost to way too many people. So instead, I would like to punish the individual who put them in this position if possible, I guess. So
No. Sometimes you can't save someone, and the only thing you can do is make sure that the ones who did it in the future can't repeat their actions. Even I understand that.
exactly. That's kind of what I'm aiming for. It's what I'm going to try and sell him on. So we'll see.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if I can help in the other way, I'll let me know, and if you want to talk some night about, I don't know who would put a blood hunt on you. You're positively marvelous. Nobody should be blood hunting you.
Yeah. Well, other people would beg to differ, but that's more of it's a tool in their repertoire, and they don't understand that not all tools should be leveraged at all times. So
That sounds like half our society, doesn't it?
yeah, you're right.
Eventually, one way or another, people will learn it's not the way to foster a garden to grow. That just chokes everything out.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I'm so business, get it done kind of thing tonight.
I get it. Well, if you want to hang around for a while, you can hang out. If you want to try the Azuli special, you can always do that.
I will probably hang out some. Yeah. I don't have to wait for my driver or anything. So I will probably hang out some. It'd be nice. I will say hi to the different queens. So
Please do. They love, fans or not, they just love people coming and talking. They love to give makeup advice and outfits, and they're just great. Actually, we've got one hell of a group of performers here, and a community as a whole, and we love them.
Awesome. Yeah, no, I'd love to network with them. So
as you spend the rest of the evening hanging out here in Azuli's, the House of Lilith, Roscoe, as you're coming home, when you get back to your haven, you go in, everything seems fine, but when you step in your haven, you're hit by the smell of something right away. Someone is in your kitchen cooking. You're muted.
Okay, then. It seems a little unusual, so I go to the kitchen.
And Samantha's in there wearing one of your t-shirts, of all damn things. I know you don't eat, but it's the thought that counts. So, right? I baked you cookies.
Yep.
And the cookies are actually all in the shape of bats.
Oh, that's cute. I like
I'm
it.
sorry I had to steal your shirt. I
Oh,
got
it looks
flour
good
all
on you.
over mine, and then
That's fine.
it's in the wash now. As soon as it's done, I'll take it out. But I was covered in flour, and it just didn't look right.
Hmm. It'd look right no matter what. So don't worry about it.
No, I know you can't eat, but they're good cookies. And she actually takes one and eats
Oh.
one.
I can taste one.
Go ahead.
I'll try it.
They're sugar cookies. A little heavy on the sugar, a little overly sweet. And
Oh,
she's not the best cook. Definitely not a good baker.
Well, it's the sensation that counts. I'm sure. My undead tastes aren't as keen as the living.
I'm sorry I let myself in. It's just you weren't here, and I figured, I mean, I'd surprise you when you came home, so I just
Yeah.
made some cookies.
You still have the key, right?
I lost the key at some point. I got in another way.
No.
It was unlocked. Well, it wasn't, but then it was.
I understand. It's good to see you.
I'm just glad to be, they're easing up a little on what I'm supposed to do.
Franklin letting you out some.
Well, they're still looking for my friends, and how did he put it? If I'm allowed to run around, maybe they'll contact me. And if I know what's good for me, if they do, I will let him know.
Okay.
I don't see what all the fuss is about Tammy and Allison. They're not that bad.
They're kind of bad. They don't have your best interests at heart, that's for sure.
Well, I don't know about all that. I mean,
they're frenemies, let's put it that way.
Well, we've been friends for a while.
Well, anyway.
Yeah. Well,
tell me the other night when you were following me and you got caught. Tell me what happened.
Like I said, I was in there. I come in the lobby, and I didn't know what it was till I stepped in. As soon as I stepped in the lobby, I could feel something was different there. And when I went to switch to my other sight to see, suddenly there's a collar around my neck, and I couldn't do anything. Couldn't control my muscles. I couldn't speak. I couldn't touch the gift. My avatar wouldn't respond. Just, I could feel the avatar. It was still there. I knew it was still there. It's just nothing. I don't know.
It's an interesting device that would shackle a mage.
Yeah. I don't know what it was.
Do you have any no idea what that could be?
Never heard of it before. Never
I'm a
seen
little
anything
concerned.
like it.
I'm a little concerned about that myself. Did you mention it to Franklin?
No, you all told me not to.
Okay.
You all told me not to bring it up with Franklin.
Thank you.
And I'm listening for now. I still think he should know about it, but
I'm conflicted, but for now, no. It was not entirely smart following me. Some of the places I go are dangerous.
And she stands up to her full 5'2" height. You're saying I can't take care of myself?
I think you could. Well, how well were you taking care of yourself once that collar was snapped on your neck?
That was once. Okay, I won't follow you there. You just tell me where places are like that. I won't go there. But you might need my help at some point.
Oh, I totally agree. Actually, I think Isabella really needs your help at this point.
Yeah, well, if she needs a favor, I owe her for, I guess, my life coming out of there. What the hell is that creepy ass woman anyway?
She's one of the clans of our kind, and their name's La Sombra, and that's the shadow work is their trademark. They can travel through with shadows.
That's what's in that building?
Not exactly. Oh wait, you're talking about the madam, the one
Yeah,
who's
the lady
Oh.
that old lady that with that creepy ass butler.
she's she's a very unusual entity.
I mean, I've learned a bit about what you are. I don't know much else about your kind. I only know a little bit about what you all call Trabir, I guess. It's about all I know.
Okay, I thought you were talking about the one that was Isabella's problem, but no, the lady that's in the madam that owns the tower. She's not exactly like any of us.
I know she's
She's
old and crusty. I mean, who would want to have eternal life at that age?
You'd be surprised. I mean, it creeps up on you.
No, you do no. You don't want to be at that age.
You don't want to be, but you also don't want to let go either.
It's part of the cycle. Eventually you die. And in my case, my avatar goes to someone else and it continues. That's part of.
Let's talk about that. Keeping your avatar in you and then not giving it the chance to get out and get away.
Okay.
There are certain gifts I might be able to give you. This is something you're going to need to think about.
A
This
present?
is totally, in a way, something like that. But this has to be something that you have to think about and that you have to decide on. And I want you to take a long time to think about it.
Okay. What are you talking about here? You don't keep a girl in suspense. You got to give me something.
Okay, well, I'm not talking about embracing you like I was, because that will destroy your avatar and you'll never, ever, ever see it again.
Yeah, that would be bad.
But I can.
But I'd get to be with you forever if that happened, right?
Yes, but you would come to hate me because it would
I'd
destroy.
never hate you.
Don't say that. It can happen to anybody.
Nah. But go on. We won't focus on that part.
I can give you a gift that will prolong your life indefinitely,
Mm-hmm.
and you will be stronger and faster than most mortal human. Well, all mortal humans. It does come with a cost.
I'm not sure how that would work with my gift. The avatar's
Well-
meant to.
Well, that's what I have to look into. That's part of what I have to research to make sure that it doesn't take that away from you.
It's because the avatar is meant to move on eventually to
Well,
the next awakened. It's part of that cycle. It's part of what keeps the spheres going. It is part of the natural laws of everything.
well, that's true. And eventually, I mean, we all cease to exist at some point. But we just simply prolong the time you have with it. I mean, a couple 100 years, 400 years, or less, depending on what happens. But certainly much longer than a normal human lifespan.
But what's the?
Yes,
everything
there is
has a
cost.
downside.
Yes, it is. You would. It's what we call being bonded. To me, you would be more likely to want to do things that please me.
Oh, you silly ass! I already want to do things that please you. I don't see how that changes.
Um,
Do you think I'd go and bake cookies for every man?
well, I hope not. I hope you only for me.
I mean, I'm wearing your T-shirt. You think I'm not? I mean, what's the real downside? Give me a downside.
Well, you may not always act in your own best interests. You might.
You mean like I might blow up a club?
Well, I'm not sure how to keep. You may decide to do things that you think will help me that are not actually helping, like going out of your way to blow up a club that we didn't want blown up.
No, I am sorry about that. You mean like, me stepping into a building that you were in? I mean, you're not really showing me things here that are convincing me I'm acting any different yet.
Okay, well, that was the biggest downside.
But you don't know what it'll do to...
Right, and that's what I need to look into before I really, really offer it to you.
The only one in our order that, or in our mages in the city who knows much about your kind is Franklin.
Tracy. Oh, I was going to say Tracy.
Well, Tracy's not a mage. She's one of your kind.
No, but she knows a lot about mages.
Yeah, but it's the same as asking Franklin. I'm not sure how he would react to that.
I suspect he would not react well.
He's being a bit of a hypocrite. He's telling me stay away from you, and yet he's always running around town with Tracy. Not setting a good example. I called him on it. He said it's different.
Well, of course it is. It's always different.
Yeah, well, I don't look like the type that put up with that kind of bullshit, do I?
No. Mm-mm.
Well, what do I look like the type for? Let me hear that.
I'll give you some ideas. Let's, well...
It better not be that same movie, because some of those were impossible.
Yeah, well, I have a source to get maybe more of those if you're interested.
We don't need those movies. That was...
Okay.
I mean, I'll watch them, but...
Well, it looks like you've gotten flour all over my t-shirt, and maybe we need to eat that off.
And she looks at you. Well, I think that's the closest you've come to a proposition to me. I think I'll take you up on that. And as we end this scene, she sheds the t-shirt. And now, before we skip over it, Jenny, when you arrive back at Phoenix tonight, at the end of your night, there's a embossed envelope waiting for you, addressed to Genevieve Schutz. And the envelope's actually, the cover of it just has your name on it, written in very nice calligraphy, with an embossed letter.
Jenny opens it up.
Inside, it says you are invited to make an appointment at the Painted Lady Tattoo Parlor to receive a unique bit of art. And it's signed the Painted Lady.
Jenny just laughs, and then she's like, speak the devil's name and they will fucking let you know. Oh boy. She kind of like flaps the card in the air a little bit, and she's like, well, I guess I might have Roscoe in.
As you said about that, Jackie, where were you meeting Dread?
Actually, it's after closing time. She's at Joe's Jazz Bar. It was her night to kind of monitor the domain.
Okay. So as you're at Joe's and it's closing up, it was not as busy of a night because, it's that time of week. But as you're finishing up, you hear the motorcycle before you even see it. Because it's towards the end of the night, things have calmed down a bit. Mm-hmm. And a motorcycle pulling up suddenly gets your attention. And you'd probably at this point recognize that motorcycle.
Oh, yeah, anywhere.
Anywhere.
Well, Joe, it seems like my ride is here.
I didn't know you were getting picked up tonight.
Yeah.
It's nice talking with you.
Yeah, glad to hear things have been kind of quiet around here.
Yeah, I mean, business is good. It's a slow night, but it's...
Yeah, well, that's expected.
Everyone's got to save their energy before they get buck wild tomorrow night.
I know. And you've got a new group playing tomorrow night, so that should bring in some people.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, they've been doing pretty good so far.
Mm-hmm.
It seems we've been getting a lot of good acts, and
yeah,
as long as business is picking up, and now that the the random violence has calmed down. It's helped the whole block, really.
It has. It's actually helped, really, the whole neighborhood.
Yeah, well, I'm only worried about our block.
I know.
I don't mind if the other blocks lose business as long as we're gaining business.
Yes, but prosperous neighbors lead to prosperity all over.
Yeah. And Sylvester seems to have finally gotten past that whole raid thing, that stigma that hit it for a while. So they're making good business.
They're making good business.
And as you're talking, you see Dredd step in, wearing his blue jeans with his chaps. He's got boots on. Tonight he's got spurs on for some reason.
Mm.
And he's just leaning against the doorway, just watching.
Mm-hmm. Well, Joe, you have a lovely evening.
I suppose that's your ride.
It is.
He looks like a tough customer. You sure you're safe with him?
Positively.
Well, you have a good night, Mr. On.
Good night.
And as you come up, Dredd flips his visor up on his helmet.
Mm-hmm.
I'm here.
Do you want to go for a ride?
Sure, I always love going for a ride.
So do I.
And he actually gets on the bike and he takes his helmet off.
Uh-huh.
Because he knows you prefer him to ride helmetless when the two of you are riding together.
Uh-huh.
Plus, you can't talk through a helmet anyway.
Mm-mm.
We'll just go for a ride for a bit.
Yeah.
Want to go somewhere we can talk?
That would be preferable. There's some things I'd like to discuss with you.
Well, let's go to the park then.
Sure.
And he takes you right back to a park you were there a few days ago. But it's one that the Wolfpack likes to use because they keep it patrolled and cleaned.
Mm-hmm.
And at this hour, it's pretty empty. As the bike pulls up and he parks it. Well, let's just walk through the woods a bit.
Sure.
And the two of you head into the night. So what's going on? You normally don't... When you ask me to pick you up somewhere like that, it's not normally, well, meet me at your at your apartment. That's
well,
a different
you
kind
like
of a night.
to say that we shouldn't do that too often, so I try to mix it up a little bit for you.
Well, that tells me you're into something you're wanting to talk.
Well,
shop.
a little bit, yes. How have you been?
Been doing okay. Busy.
Really?
Yeah, rumor has it that the Anarchs are going to be trying something. So Tyrus has been having us rough them up a bit more than usual, go into their favorite hangouts and a show of force, as he calls it, to remind them of why they might not want to do that and it would be a poor decision on their part.
Yes, I believe Baron Anita is being influenced.
When aren't they being influenced?
Yes. And she most certainly seems to be inclined to war.
Well, that won't end well for her.
No, it will not. And even Kevin is unconcerned.
I wish he'd tell us that, because every time we've ever talked to him on the subject, he's telling us we're fucking up his plans and we need to, Tyrus is stirring up a hornet's nest that don't need stirred up.
Yes, well, it seems he's changed his tune in recent nights.
I'd go meet with him, but fuck that bastard. I don't want to talk to him anyway.
I know. That's why you have me, darling.
Yeah. I mean, I'll pass that up to Tyrus. I'm sure he won't mind turning up the heat a little.
Yeah. Another thing. Why is it so personal to Dawn that McTavish gets destroyed?
Dawn?
Yes.
Dawn who?
Akata.
That bitch.
That's my new contact.
I got a story for that one for you.
Oh, good. Tell me.
It's not popular that we're Archons, right?
Right.
Archons are supposed to report to Adjusticar.
There's a protocol.
Right. Having Archons not attached to anybody in particular with a broad set of goals that include just keeping shit safe. That pisses off some old school people that don't like that kind of unstructured power, I guess you could call it. And then let's add in, we're gangrels. Our clan's not part of the Camarilla officially. Not all of us left. Some of us still believe in what it stands for. Some of us just believe in our own pack. My understanding is she thinks we're relic has-beens and shouldn't be in the position we have.
Ah,
I think she's looking for an excuse that she can show the powers that be that we are, well,
obsolete.
yes, that we don't need to be what we are, and we can be stripped of our power. And her opinion, my guess, is to be done away with altogether. And I do mean in a final way.
Yes, she is that sort. That's why I have a retirement plan, so that when she becomes just a car, which is what the rumors are, then I will not have to be working for her.
Her and Tyrus got in a big fight. Right after Tyrus got shot. You believe that little short, she stood right there screaming at Tyrus, finger in his face, laying into him about his duty. And he let somebody walk away that did that. Called him a disgrace.
It's not like she could kill McTavish herself.
Not like she could kill Tyrus.
Exactly. Tyrus should have just put us all out of our misery.
He is an angry old wolf sometimes, but he's not stupid.
I know.
He knows that the heat he would draw.
I know, being Gangrel and, I know.
He had to take the abuse
I know.
and listen to her mouth the whole damn time.
Well, it might give him some satisfaction that I piss her off more often than I pissed him off.
No, that probably would. I don't know if you'll believe me, but
I do. And the thing is, I work for her boss, so she really doesn't do shit to me.
yeah, it's not a name you want to bring up in his presence.
Yeah.
He gets angrier than usual.
Yeah. Well, that makes sense then. I believe I may have something I need assistance with at some point.
I mean, we always try to help you, or at least I try to help you. Tyrus,
Yes, but
He's
he might
Tyrus.
want to help me for this one.
well, he might, generally.
My associates and I will be going after McTavish.
I'm sure he'd like to help that one, though. How can I put this to... He may or may not help. I'm sure we'll help, but he may or may not help.
Is he all right?
He's spooked still by what he was told. McTavish is going to kill him. Some days I wish he'd get it over with, and other days he's let him try and I'll rip his fucking head off. He is who he is. He's been through a lot, so I'm sure
I
you
know.
understand.
I do. I do.
And he's got the same problem a lot of us get as we get older,
Enough
we don't
trauma
find
builds
something.
up and we don't have an outlet.
especially when we don't find something to hold on to keep
Yeah.
the problems down.
Yeah. She takes his hand at that.
Okay. And he holds it back. I slept for a few years last time I hit that point. Sometimes I wish he'd sleep for a little while and maybe get past it. I brought it up to him once, almost as a joke, and his response was, "So that's how McTavish kills me."
Jesus. Oh, Antheus.
I told him not to go see fucking that Galura guy.
Ben Galura told him that?
Yeah, gave him the prophecy. Read him the cards. It was Nadine's idea. She'd heard about it. She
Ben
went there.
Galura was possessed by a demon. We destroyed him.
Well, I didn't deem it. Well, if he's destroyed, that part's good.
I personally sent that demon packing back to hell.
Nadine just wanted to hear about her brother. She heard he was a seer, so she went, brought us all there one night. It's right after her brother died, Ramrod. And she brought him. Or she wanted to speak to him, and then he saw Tyrus, and he went into a telling, as he called it. The ghost wolf was going to kill him. There's only one wolf around this town that's known as a ghost.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, I would advise you once we have the information we need to get him.
That would be good, because I'm sure if we can take him out, that'll help Tyrus to settle down.
And it will also help solidify your position.
Well, that too.
Because even if it's done because she wants it done, it doesn't mean you guys can't be part of it and get that credit.
She's still trying to... She, an odd thing, I guess I'll put it. She's... Yeah.
She thinks in computations and calculations.
Yeah, well, she doesn't understand the human factor then.
Not at all. Thus, I do not wish to work for her.
And I don't think she understands the level of backing we have. I don't... They don't assign people like us. They don't create archons without a Justicar to report to. Yet we have this.
Right.
I can't go into details about how this was set up, but let's just say she is barking up the wrong tree if she thinks she can easily get us removed.
I understand. She thinks she is more powerful than what she really is.
Yeah, and she doesn't understand the concept of an insurance policy.
No, she doesn't.
We are the tower's insurance policy.
Yes, you are. You are the watchers on the wall.
We're the threat that'll keep people in line.
That too.
Sometimes I wish we weren't, because we get chewed up.
I know.
And as he says it, you see his hand reach back, and it's a spot you know has scars from his tussle with the lupine.
She touches one of his scars and says, each one of these is a story.
Yeah, but I think that book's full enough, don't you? I didn't want to turn it into the Encyclopedia Britannica of volumes.
Oh, who knows what the future holds?
Yeah. Supposedly that Ben guy did, but...
Not anymore. I
You-
put a bullet straight in his forehead.
You'll have to tell me on a night we've got more time about the demon thing. 'Cause
Oh, yes, absolutely. I'll be happy to tell you.
that's a bit disturbing. I hadn't
Yes.
heard that rumor before.
Yes. So, but yes.
And the two of you continue to walk and enjoy time in
Mm-hmm.
this gangrel sanctuary of the woods.
Mm-hmm.
And you do notice at several points there are wolves in the park. They tend to avoid people, but every once in a while one comes over to Dread, sniffs near him, and then turns around and walks off, as if verifying who it is in the park.
Mm-hmm.
And as you two go your separate ways and you return to your haven, outside the door of your haven is an individual you know. Arjun Shaw has shown up at your haven tonight.
Arthur Shaw.
Let's talk. You
Please.
wanted to have a meeting? Let's have a meeting.
Please. And she lets him in.
And as you let him in, right here is where we're going to end Season 8, Episode 3 of Windy City After Dark, everybody. It was a night of revelations, heart-to-heart discussions, and borderline hookup night, apparently. Just putting that out there. And I'd like to thank my players, of course, right off, the viewers for being here to watch. The viewer vote, or the player vote, XP. Everyone gets XP. For the last episode, I gave you all a bonus one last episode. You don't get another bonus one this episode. I'm not going to give you an extra bonus every episode, but expect more of those coming. Of course, if you want to see our back episodes, pop over to YouTube, catch our back episodes. We got lots of episodes. Windy City, we've got pretty much almost every World of Darkness product covered. And the ones we don't, eventually we'll probably get to those too. Just so you know. If you want to catch amazing content creators like Mischievous Red and the Ivy Raven over there, pop over to their Twitch channel. They're right here in chat. You can pop over and watch their shows, watch them when they stream, talk with them, chat, see them play some video games. Just, spend time, say hi to them. Let them know you're watching. I'm trying to go through, my brain is totally screwed up. Merch, you want to get some Windy City merch? Get our Windy City merch. You can get things like these posters. We've got cups, we've got t-shirts. Even though Lamar's gone, you can still get our Camp Wish a Motherfucker Would t-shirt. Because I think this whole coterie is wanting to wear that t-shirt right about now. They're all itching to put some hurting on people. And as you know, everyone, bits and donations, they go to the players, not to the studio. If you want to give something to these players as a way of thank you for the time and effort we put into doing this stream, you can give bits and donations here on Twitch, and that goes to them. If you want to give something to the studio, you can subscribe on Twitch, you can follow on YouTube, of course, and you can pop over to our KoFi so that you can give something. That's how you pay back the studio. But bits and donations, that's for the players, not for us. And I believe that's all I have, so I can turn it over to my wife for her schedule.
All right. So coming up over the next week, we have, once I can get my mouse where I need it to be.
Mouse running around. Need to use a different bait for that trap, right, Jenny?
I know.
Got to know what bait to use for the trap.
All right. So coming up over the next week, we have on Friday night, I will be running a special one-shot of a lovely little indie game called Nighthawks, featuring Ravnos Archon, Junie Von Esch, House, and brand new to our streaming, Vampire Brat. They will all be playing lonely people stuck together in a place. Sounds weird, I know, but it's actually based on the artwork entitled Nighthawks, which has been one of my favorite pieces of art for a long time.
That's the diner picture, isn't
That's
it?
the diner picture. Yep. And I literally am really looking forward to it. This is actually a GM-less game, so I will be not running it so much as I'll be playing it with these other players. So it's going to be a lot of fun. So join us at 8 p.m. Eastern on Friday the 30th for that. On Saturday the 1st, Tiss is back.
Dr. Tiss.
Dr. Tiss is back after her relocation, running London Esoteric Society at 3 p.m. Eastern, Saturday, October 1st.
And she confirmed today that she got her internet set up from her move, so she definitely will be back the 1st.
Excellent, excellent. And then on the 2nd, we will be right back here at 5 p.m. Eastern with the next installment of Season 8 of Windy City After Dark.
So everyone knows, Mage Season 4 is starting next month. We are almost
starting
in October.
that week on Tuesday.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We're almost to October, which means Mage Ascension is back, everybody.
Uh-huh.
The final season of the Neon series that Ravnos Archon has been running. Season 4 is his
coming
last
to
season.
an end, but this one's going to run more than 3-4 episodes. This one's going to run all the way through November.
So this will be the last one, but I'm sure he'll come up with new stories later.
Mm-hmm.
But this is the 4th season of his Neon stories.
Yep.
So please check that out when it comes up. And as always, mental health, everybody. It's not a joke, not a laughing matter. Please check in on those around you. Check in on friends, family, loved ones. Check in on people you haven't heard from for a while. Just this week, I've checked in on 2 or 3 people that I hadn't heard from for a while to make sure they're okay. So please do that. Sometimes it just takes somebody checking in to make them understand people do care. And if you suffer from mental health issues, like most of us do, and you don't feel you can connect and talk to anybody, in chat is a list of names and numbers you can call or text 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. On the other end are volunteers that are doing it because they want to help. And you can talk to them and get the help you need, because mental health is health. And it's very important. And there's nothing wrong with admitting you need help. We all do. So please, please, if you are in crisis, reach out, please. Now I can turn it over to my wife for her portions of the outro.
As y'all know, I'm a registered nurse, and I'm going to tell you, please go get your shots. There is now a bivalent COVID vaccine for anyone ages 12 years and up. Please go get that bivalent vaccine as your booster because that one will help against the Omicron variant. So please, 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 please do that. And the Delta too, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. Don't quote me on that, but I think it also works against Delta too. So you want to get that vaccine to protect yourself from the mutations that have been happening because people refuse to get vaccinated. I'm just saying. And then also make sure your polio vaccine is up to date because that is recurring now here in the States, even though we just about got rid of it because people don't want to vax. And then we also have, it is now flu season, y'all. Get your flu shot. You know what? If you're getting your shot for one, just get them for all. Get it done and over with. That way you recover the same period without having to be out of commission multiple days. And, so yeah, just get it all done. I've done it. If I can do it, trust me, most people can do it because I have like negative pain tolerance. But also a little something to remind you, we are getting closer to Election Day. For the midterms. Please make sure you are registered to vote if you are an American citizen age 18 and up and are eligible to vote. Please turn out to vote. I would like for you to vote Democrat because the Republicans are literally insane. They are literally insane. And they are literally Christian fascists that want to, and Christian nationalists that want to strip away human rights. They want to go after not just the women's rights that they went after or the reproductive rights that they went after. They also want to go after, and they also went after native sovereignty too. That was a thing they did. And then they also plan on going over the right for LGBTQ folks, gays, to marry. They want to review again things that help protect disabled people in schools. They also want to go again, review, granted, now this isn't Clarence Thomas saying this, but there's those that want to review loving as well, the one that allows interracial marriage. So yeah, they're coming after everyone's rights if they win majority, and they want to put an abortion ban in.
So whoever you vote for, research your candidate
and what they really want to do,
and vote for the ones that will support human fucking rights.
Exactly.
I don't care what party they are. Find out which ones are supporting human rights. Vote for them. Don't vote for the ones who are against human rights.
Exactly.
That's the bare minimum.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry to tell you this, that will mean you're voting for a lot of blue people.
Yep. That's going to be a lot of Democrats right now because the Republicans do not support human rights.
But that's the bare minimum. Vote for the ones who support human rights.
Yeah.
It's not the time to fuck around people.
Yep. And let's hope we bury the GOP in midterms in 2024 so that we can possibly get a different party that might be even better than Democrats around. Okay? Yep.
I also want to point out, fuck Putin.
Oh, yeah.
Don't be a shitheel. And also, as of the time you're watching this, 4 days ago marks the 3-year anniversary of McStabber Studios' very first stream.
Yep.
As
3
of September
years,
21st, we are a 3-year-old channel. I just wanted to bring that up because I forgot to mention it earlier. This is the first stream we're doing after our 3-year anniversary. So yay us, and I thank everyone who's been here for the ride and all of our viewers. And
we thank everyone who has come along over that time, including just recently. We appreciate all of you, and we're so glad that you found us and have found enjoyable content. And if you're on our Discord with us, have found a community that you enjoy.
And let's do 3 more years.
Yes.
And then we'll just keep extending it every 3 years. That's all.
Yeah. We'll do 3-year contracts.
That's right. Until I'm so old, nobody wants to see me
Yeah.
on stream. I'm getting there. Getting there.
Hey, as long as they make makeup and hair dye, I'll be young forever.
Not me. So I do thank everyone for coming, and I thank the players. And we will see you all next week.
Good night.
Good night,
everyone.
everybody.